It's week 3 of the NFL, and this one features Trevor Lawrence. He was terrific a week ago, well over 400 yards passing. It's the Jags and the Bucs under the lights on Sunday night.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Tonight we've got a great Sunday night matchup on tap, as it'll be the Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
As of this morning, summer officially over. It's time for autumn football, and we're underway on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And at quarterback from the University of Oregon, it's Justin Herbert.
And I saw that he had an interesting quote in the research packet that we had after last week's game. It's all on me now. I've got to lead my team and find a way for us to win a game. 0-2, but they're at home. I guess he's going to try and find a way to get the home crowd involved early.
They'll start on the ground. Hall shifts by him, and down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That's a start they can live with. 15 yards on their first play from scrimmage. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. Taken down at the 42. We're taking a look at Hall's numbers from a week ago. 23 carries, 58 yards, and a score.
They're coming off of back-to-back wins, and I think a lot of credit belongs to this guy right here because, to me, he's not only carried his weight, he's carried a few other guys along as well. He's helped draw defensive attention away from not just him, but open things up for his teammates, too. So if this winning streak is going to continue to have some legs to it, he has to remain effective and put together another nice game.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
Gonna throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Buying time to his left. And a nice job there defensively to contain him and get him to the ground a few yards short of the 1st down marker. They'll get 8, but they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive because that's not enough.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
And I think if you're handing out hardware through 2 weeks of the season, he might be your MVP. Already 7 touchdown passes in just 2 games. As we do know, though, in real life, they don't hand you out anything this early. A lot of games left to get through between now and the playoffs.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 26. They'll try and start this drive in the air. That's out to the flat for Akers. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a 1st down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backs out of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody Oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? They were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 15 carries, 108 for the yardage, and the score, too.
Just an excellent performance from them on the ground last week, and that speaks to an offense that is operating at a high level on all fronts. Of course, that man running the ball, he's just seeing the field so well. But don't forget about his offensive line. They've really asserted their will out there and are confident they can repeat it again this week.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. The Jaguars at 2-0 here to begin the season. And off to exactly the start you're hoping for. Nothing for the fan base to complain about, at least not yet.
I like the way that you phrased that. Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a long ways to go. But they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way if they stay in that mode throughout the season.
Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls or sometimes something a little more.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, let's see here, Charles. He was sacked 6 times last week. Now a first-quarter sack. What's going on in his mind?
Well, he's thinking to himself, 5 offensive linemen. I got sacked 6 times last week. Let's start thinking about keeping extra people in. Tight end stays in. The fullback or the running back, they stay in and help me block. Maybe not as many receivers in a pattern. Anything to try and slow down that pass rush. When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
This is caught. And the Jags are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the 2, here's 1st and goal. Haskins is in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. So both sides of the football contributing here early. Their defense forces the punt, and then the offense takes it down the field and punches it in on the short touchdown run.
And, Brandon, that's good complementary football, and that's what they're going to need if they want to get out of here victorious.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 7-0. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. Now Hall to start the drive. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Justin Herbert looking to throw on 2nd down. That's complete. It's Zay Flowers with it. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make it?
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Trenton Simpson, well, he just flew in there to drop it.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Here's Herbert. And it's incomplete. Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now it's Herbert. And that is incomplete.
That certainly looks like nothing to show now from these first two possessions. And guess what? When you're on a losing streak, that can lead to a full sense of, here we go again. So on the sidelines, the offensive play callers, quarterback, they've got to get together and dial something up to start their next drive. Otherwise, it could be a long game.
So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complementary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. They go play action with Lawrence. Throws right side, and that's complete. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Jags with the football to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Hey, Lion!
They go play action now. Lawrence out to his left. Touchdown! Jonathan Mingo, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Jags go up by 2 touchdowns. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
The point after is good, and it's now 14-0. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. A shotgun snap for Herbert. He dumps this one off here to Hall. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Just a gain of a couple there. 3rd and 7 now.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
From the shotgun, here's Herbert. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is brought in at the 21. goes left side. Touchdown, Jaguars. What a run. 79 yards on the punt return. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And you got a guy that fast back there to receive punts. That's a nightmare for the guy game planning, the special teams coach, but it's also a nightmare for the punter. Sometimes they get so nervous that they hit the ball and kick it right to him.
Extra point forthcoming. And it is now 21-0. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Herbert. This to Laporta, right side. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. And this is dropped. Oh, my goodness. There was no one around him, but he took his eye off it, and it falls incomplete. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. That'll be a 47-yard punt, officially 5 on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. It has been about as perfect of a start to this game as these guys could have asked for, Charles. They've scored on their first 2 drives. They still haven't given anything up on the other side of the ball, so they can already make this a 3-score game here if they can come away with points on this drive.
Yeah, they're almost pushing them to the brink, aren't they, partner? Almost to the point now where it's a loss of words for me, which I know would excite all of our viewers, but you're just not supposed to see that type of dominance so quickly in a game like this. Everything they've done has been working so far. Offense, defense, you name it, it's going well for them.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Here's a 2nd and 8.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now a good job shifting right, finding his target. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another 1st.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Let's go, man. Let's go, man. Hey, run.
Delay of game, offense.
Well, just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
The delay of game, a costly one, as they're backed up 5 for first and goal. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Now Lawrence to throw on second down. Flush to his right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down.
And here you're down in the red zone. You need to be smart, not force anything. So that's a wise decision to just get rid of the football.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's third and goal. Here's Lawrence to throw. And he'll go down. Brought down at the 20-yard line.
Holding, offense.
Kind of surprised. Accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move them back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. That's what counts more.
The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on third and goal. From the shotgun, Lawrence. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Rashawn Gary in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be fourth down. And his kick is good. And the route is on. It's 24-0. So everything else has gone right in this first half. Kind of follows that it would for their kicker, too, as he adds 3 more onto the lead.
Yeah, and the way that this one's gone, definitely not looking like he's going to have to worry too much about pressure kicks late in the game. He can go out there free and easy, just work on his form, and he knocked that one through.
And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The Buccaneers offense ready to rock and roll again. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it. I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it. You mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that they've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 21 yards. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Now they got to get to the line quickly. From the 50, here's Herbert. And his throw here's incomplete.
I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means he'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw here, Herbert. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
Automatic first down.
Here's another 1st and goal, but from a little further back this time following the penalty. Out of the gun, Herbert. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Here's Herbert. That's into the hands of Parkinson, the tight end. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. This will be play number 8 on the drive. It's 3rd and goal. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Tyler pass on for the field goal. A 35-yard attempt.
The kick by Bass is good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room. Maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of a team, and they could come out real sharp in the second half.
And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The Jaguars ready to go on offense for the final time in this first half. And with a 3-score lead already, this is not time for a momentum change, so I'd imagine they'd be happy to just take this into the locker room. On 1st down, Lawrence. Open man downfield is Hardman. He's got it. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Call that a very strong gain of 24. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he's taken down inside the 30. Now a timeout called with 3 seconds to go. And, of course, they're in field goal range in the final seconds of this first half.
Rip, 23.
Final play of the half. It's Lawrence. That's going to be caught. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed. Well, my education continues in this game. I've got to tell you, because there's not an analyst in the world that would have said pass up the field goal here, go for it, and expect for it to be successful And it was. I mean, they're playing this one just like a video game.
Especially for the final play of the first half to have the guts to do that. But I guess what do we say? The end will justify the means, right?
No doubt about it. For you and me, we live, we learn.
The extra point up and good. And that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you a stone's throw away. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So here are the Jaguars to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
Play action. It's Lawrence. Forced out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Rashawn Gary able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. Straight ahead is Hall. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Breece Hall with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point by Bass, up and... cut the lead back down to 21. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. Still operating with a comfortable lead despite the score a moment ago as they begin 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll take this one up to about the 23. 44 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. From the 23, here's a 2nd and 4. Now Lawrence to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Look at the big fella go. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Jaguars are able to stretch out their lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Buccaneers 10.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. So out come the Bucs now. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Hall ought to give up the middle. And good running there as he'll take this all the way up to midfield. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
He was waving his arms, wanting the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that answer.
Cold-blooded.
He's just not at his focus in this game. It's not one drop. It's not two. That's 3 for this contest.
Yeah, uncharacteristic for any NFL receiver, and he's no exception. Herbert. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He gets this away as he'll wisely, I'd say, angle this to the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Jacksonville back on offense and ready to take over. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly,
wide open, complete. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 52 yards.
Boy, this has just been an offensive clinic. It's seemingly been one big play after another, and add this one on to the list. When you can bite off more than half the field on one play, things are definitely working in your favor.
And they'll throw on 1st down with Lawrence. He's got Mingo. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up 1st and goal.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
On play action, Lawrence. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Being chased out left. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
There have not been a lot of great moments for this defense throughout this game. Finally, they have one they can hang their hat on. A nice stop there.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So tack on 3 more, though this, it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great, too.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Back now comes Tampa Bay. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Play action. It's Herbert. This pass out wide to Hall. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Second and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Herbert now. That one into the hands of Flowers. And he'll be down at the 46. Well, they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8. Well, Charles, sometimes we talk about the lengths officials sometimes go to protect star quarterbacks, but that was tough to argue against.
Yeah, and I'm sure that everyone's going to say, hey, we're going to administer the penalty the same way for all quarterbacks. But when it's a star back there, even more so.
There he goes, right side. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. And even 100 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They'll run with Hall. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Here's Herbert. He'll get that complete to Parkinson. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And now we've got a 3rd and goal situation.
Brings up 3rd and goal.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. 3rd and goal, trying to make that scoreboard at least a little more respectable. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Zay Flowers. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Buccaneers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And the lead's down to 24. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
Tyler Bass set to kick off.
This taken in at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over.
They're looking at a third straight win here if they can hold on. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
At their own 22.
Ralph.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Wide open receiver complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think you continue to do so.
The passing game continues to be their friend. Even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles, they're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
A 9-yard pickup, just 1 yard away from 3 consecutive first down plays.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That good for 22 and a first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Now Lawrence on first down. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. Well, their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And the Jaguars are going to have a first and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
Now they send a man in motion right.
Let's go. We're good.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal. Now Lawrence.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's third down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
On 3rd and goal, Lawrence. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Jonathan Mingo with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Jaguars are closing in on a 3rd straight victory to start the campaign. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
380, run! Set.
On 1st down, Justin Herbert. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7, past the 30 to the 32.
That's a gain of 7.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time it's 3rd and 3. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have the Buccaneers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
To the air again, Herbert. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. Defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Jermaine Johnson, his 2nd sack of the night.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
Over the middle, complete. That's Flowers. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. The Bucs try it on 4th down, but come up empty. And the Jags take over in terrific field position.
Everyone gears up for 3rd down, talks about the importance of it. But 4th down, that's truly the moment of truth play, isn't it?
Everything's dialed up a little bit more. And, you know, it's such a momentum play, isn't it?
Absolutely, because it can flip either way depending on who converts on 4th down.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 89 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. Now 2nd and 3. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it can be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
Here we go on 4th down. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Every day, let's do what we do every day. Hey, what we got?
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. That one looks like he'll throw here. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Sebastian Joseph Day breaking through for the sack. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick.
Under pressure, they got him again. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. Catch is made by Hardman. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
17.
Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for Jacksonville, it's